Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. It's Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. Stephen St. John in studio with Nate Bukaty. Crazy show today. 6:30, we'll have Matt Derrick from ChiefsDigest.com on the show. Jesse Newell from The Athletic will be with us at 7:05. Bill Moss will join us at 7:30. And then we'll have Coach Gary Barnett to talk some college football in the 8 o'clock hour. Jeremy Fowler will be on the show at 8:30. 9:05, we're going to talk to Royals GM Scott Sharp. And then Mike DePasquale. Mike's got this. Mike's got picks. Also, if you follow me on X, slight scheduling change. I posted that we're going to talk to Chad Ochocinco today. We're going to talk to him on Thursday. And so you'll be able to tune in on Thursday and listen to a fun conversation between me and Chad Ochocinco. And so we should do that in the 9 o'clock hour on Thursday. And so a lot of Chiefs talk today with Matt Derrick and Jesse Newell and Bill Moss. Jeremy Fowler's a new regular guest we'll have to talk NFL insider Jeremy Fowler. So that should be exciting. And as always, talking about college football with Gary Barnett. We'll talk to Scott Sharp with the Royals, as I mentioned, at 9:05, and that was a tough one last night. The Royals lose again, and it's another wasted opportunity for the Royals as they lose to the Angels, and that's a team the Royals should beat if the Royals are indeed a playoff team. But perhaps now we are finding out that they are not. By no means is it over. They're absolutely still a part of this thing. They're still in it. But they're wasting chances every time they go out. Especially, it's disappointing, especially at home. When they have this home stand that we've had circled and they're not capitalizing on opportunities. Last night was an opportunity because Seattle lost again. And Seattle, they have not been playing good baseball. But the Royals have been wasting opportunities to close the gap. And while they have basically been just treading water along with Seattle, Texas, even though Texas lost last night, see, again, missed opportunity. Texas, as we discussed yesterday, has advanced past the Royals. And now the Royals, once again, the same as yesterday. So, look, nothing lost, nothing gained, but time. Time was lost. And the Royals aren't in the driver's seat here. They have ground to make up on two teams. And they could have made up that ground last night. Some of it, they could have gained a game on the Rangers. They could have gained a game on the Mariners. Instead, they don't do anything. And they just tread water and stay in the same position as they were. And they can't afford to do that. Angels beat the Royals 5-1. The Red Sox, they continue to play well. They beat the Guardians 11-7. As I mentioned, the Mariners, they lost to the Rays 6-5. So that was a gift that the Royals refused to accept. The Rangers lost to the Diamondbacks 5-3. So there it is. There's a night where the Rangers lose to the Diamondbacks and the Mariners lose to the Rays, but the Royals lose to the Angels. And I'm not gonna I made just a quick post last night where I posted a blank stare after I shared a post from Annie Rogers, who covers the Royals for MLB.com and joins us every week on the show. She posted, manager Matt Quachero said Salvador Perez will still catch the majority of the time, even with Luke Maile and Carter Jensen on the roster. Jensen will be available to pinch hit, pinch run, go in for defense, etc. Royals wanted him and Jack Caglione up here to help the team win. So then you take a look at the lineup, and neither one of them are in it. And this team hasn't been playing well enough not to take advantage of the opportunity to inject some life, inject some juice into this lineup. And again, I don't see it with Nick Lofton, but I'm not a scout. I'm not a GM. I'm not a manager. But there are spots in this lineup that could be improved upon. And so it's just disappointing. I'm not outraged. I'm not saying that they're done, but it's just, you have a nice opportunity there to get one or two of these kids in the lineup and see if they can just create a spark, if they can add some juice, and they don't, and they don't do it. And there's enough holes in the lineup to where I don't think you have to do mental gymnastics to figure out a way to get one of those guys in the lineup. That's just where I'm at there. You bring him up, hey, and maybe I'd have to listen to the audio, but I didn't love that quote. Well, he can come in and he can pinch hit and pinch run. Okay. I don't know. How about put him at catcher and Salvia DH and pat Randall Grichuk on the ass and say, thank you. Thanks for your time. I don't necessarily need Grichuk in the lineup. I definitely don't need Nick Lofton in the lineup. So I don't know. It's when I saw it, this kind of took the wind out of my sails. Like, huh? He's not gonna put either one of them in the lineup just right off the bat. And then I saw that quote, like, oh, maybe that's just what they're just gonna be up here. They want him to be, around the team, down the stretch, pinch hit, pinch run, like he said, and that's it. And so that we'll have to see. When we asked Annie Rogers about it, she said it would be very interesting to see how they were utilized. And so, they did pinch hit Carter Jensen for Grichuk last night. He struck out, got his, first at bat, so that was cool. But I don't know. Just I don't love it. I'm not sitting here and losing my mind over it. Just disappointing, that's all. I thought it would be a really good way to inject some, I don't know, to try to create a spark and add one or two high ceiling guys into the lineup, because I think we're seeing that this team just isn't quite good enough to get over this hump. They haven't. Now that could change. Seattle's trying to get them over the hump, but they won't accept it. They won't accept the invitation. And I don't, I look at some of these guys that I mentioned, and there's just a certain ceiling to them. And so, what are possibilities? Hey, was Caglione good the first time around? No. Did he show glimpses? Yes. Did he go back down and hit at a certain level of AAA that you would want him to try to show that he deserved another shot? Yes. Did Carter Jensen, knock the cover off the ball at his time at AAA and show that maybe he deserved a shot. And again, it's just one game. Maybe he wanted them just to get their feet wet last night and get acclimated to everything, and then they're going to start playing him. But just for one game, I looked at the lineup, I go, well, that's an interesting approach. They're not going to use either one of them. And then you read the quote from Andy like, maybe that's the game plan. Or maybe not. Maybe they'll use one or both of them. I think they should. I could be wrong. But that's just my humble opinion. Nate?
Do you think it's I assume it's because they don't want to put these kids under that much pressure, like right off the bat when I know Cags has already been up here for a little bit, but do you believe in the trying to ease them in type thing? I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah, this time to win, man.
Yeah.
They're desperate. This is desperate times now. Yeah. And I put my best talent on the field and to see what they can do. I mean, it seems like other teams aren't afraid to put rookies and put high-end talent into thrust them into a playoff race. And so maybe that certainly might be the case. I don't know. But it doesn't seem like things are going very well right now. You know what I mean? To where, like, hey, stay the course. This is, like that meme where the guy's sitting in the apartment that's on fire. Everything's fine. It's great. Because they're right there. I'm not just a little something, a little push.
Yeah.
A little, So.
Yeah, maybe a little youth could give them some life in the lineup.
Yeah.
And you're not asking them to replace somebody that's producing. I mean, Nick Lofton's still below the Mendoza line.
Right.
So
you can't. I mean, when you look at the line, who do you replace?
Yeah.
I can show you a couple. You got to, if you get creative, whatever. But still, this is. Matt Quatrero doesn't seem to me like a guy that would say this, but I'll say it: desperate times. It's desperate times. All hands on deck. I mean, you got to go. This is it. We're winding down. And every day that they miss an opportunity to gain ground, the chances of them going to the playoffs decrease. And again, Matt Quatrero I think he's a very good manager. He knows more about baseball than he'll forget more about baseball than I'll ever know. But nobody's perfect. Baseball people sometimes can be stubborn. We all can be stubborn.
You almost have to be a baseball manager. If you're going to manage the way he does with the analytics and everything, when the analytics don't go your way, you still got to stick with them, right?
Right. And there's different ways to get to the same goal. If you believe that, saw enough of Cags, he ain't ready, bring him up here. Nice option if you want to use him as a pinch hitter when you need a home run late. If you need somebody that can run into one, because there are some guys on this team that they ain't running into one.
If they do, it ain't going very far.
They barrel it up, it ain't going far enough. Okay, and so and if you say that's all we think he can do right now, okay, all right. Well, let me. Carter Jensen's been on fire. You haven't given him a chance. Okay, so let's see something there. Let's put him at catcher, and put Salvi at DH, and see if Salvi that little we've seen at times when Salvi DHs and gets a little bit of rest for those legs, that can help him offensively. Mm-hmm. Let me see that. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah. One of the things I'm wondering if there's a little bit of that, the fact that you're talking about a veteran catcher like Salvi when it comes to these big important games, managing the pitching staff, maybe you let Carter Jensen be around the staff a little bit, watch Salvi. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what's in the mindset of the coach, but maybe if you don't want to trust him with handling the pitching, but it does seem like everything comes from the dugout anymore anyway when it comes to calling pitches.
Pitch comes,
you know?
yeah. Again, this was 1978. It'd be a great point.
It's
not that anymore.
Yeah, you're looking at
baseball's a different game.
Yeah, everything's being called from.
You know.
Yeah. So.
And again, if they're winning, then you don't question it. Like when all I can tell you is how I feel. And when I saw the lineup, I was disappointed. Because again, I'm just not totally. But it's not for me to decide. But like I've seen Nick Lofton in a bunch of high leverage situations not come through. And I see him. You know, I don't know why he's still in the lineup. But again, it's not my decision to make. You know. I don't think that's even for the lineup, that's the lineup with the highest ceiling they could enact. And again, if you say Keggs had a shot, okay. If you want to give up on a talent like that quick, that's I'm not gonna do that. I've seen plenty of guys struggle their first time around, and then have to take a step back, come back, and it clicks. So I'm not giving up on that. You know, you say that Carter Jensen's too young, and what do you call him up for? He's doing everything he could possibly do at AAA. Other teams seem to not have a problem with, like I said, utilizing their rookies, their young talent in the middle of a pennant race. See what he can do. And he gets just one game. We don't know. Maybe they'll both be in the lineup tonight, and I'll be happy.
But like you said, it doesn't sound like it from what
that's you know the lineup plus his comments doesn't feel like, you know, he's almost like he's telling you, hey, pinch hit, pitch run, some defense, get them acclimated, let them be around this environment, see if they can help us win that way. But you know, don't expect them to play, which is okay.
And maybe that's the case for a week, and then like after they've been acclimated. But they are running out of time.
Yeah, this is If you told me that in July, I'd say, oh, okay, let's take it slow. Let's be very cautious here. And maybe that's why I wouldn't be a good manager. This is it. You know, there's just not you don't have that many games left, and I don't feel like watching them. Right now, I don't feel like they're playing at a level where you say, hey, we're good. We don't need to change anything. We just keep on rolling. You know?
Yeah, just leave it like it is.
So, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, I'm with you. I mean, I do. You know, I know right now winning's the most important thing. When those guys come up, you get more excited because you want to see, and maybe that's part of it. Managers seem to have in general, coaches seem to be scared of young players. You know, like they don't know what they're going to get. They don't like that unpredictability. It's like you'd almost rather have. I know I'm getting 199 out of Lofton, so I, you know, but it is. I think it does give a little juice, just a little excitement when those guys get to come play.
I mean, since the beginning of that Tiger series, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 and 6. That ain't getting it done.
That's exactly what the Mariners have done over that same stretch. Yeah. That, like you said, that's a stretch. That's a 10-game stretch where you could have picked up a game or two.
Yep, missed opportunity. We'll take a break. Back after this on WHB. What's up, Kansas City? Steven St. John here. And you know that football's back. All of it. And it's very exciting. And it's not just football. It's first touchdown fireworks, anytime touchdown rushes, and live bets that ride every momentum shift. At DraftKings, every play is your next shot to win. And you should check out Thursday Night Football. The Eagles, defending champs, 8.5-point favorites over the Cowboys. The Chiefs looking right around 3.5 points, 3 points favorites over the Chargers. Lines and odds subject to change, but it'll be fun to enjoy Thursday night football and Friday night football with DraftKings. And new customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 to get $300 in bonus bets instantly, plus grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. That's code 810WHB to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more, plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Kansas only. Eligibility restrictions apply on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issue and see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Hello, it's Mark Whitlow from Office Products Alliance. OPA is not just your local office products convention. We have expanded our offerings to network cabling installation, security cameras, door access, and IT services.
Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We have Matt Derrick on the line from ChiefsDigest.com. Matt, good morning. How are you?
I am doing pretty well, Stephen. Considering, I mean, 6:30 is not normally my jam, but I'm. You guys are getting me pumped up here. I mean, we got Chiefs, Chargers in Brazil. We got Border War on Saturday. I mean, it's a great time to be alive.
Are we allowed to call it border war again? Finally,
I'm allowed to. Nobody's going to stop me.
That's right.
All right. Let's start with that. I just play the clip. I just resent you, Jake, from Eli Drinkwitz yesterday, and this has been properly vetted. I listened to it. No curse words. Eli don't curse. Here is Eli Drinkwitz talking about the game and the rivalry and game week. Matt Derrick, listen to Eli Drinkwitz and tell me, does this get you fired up? Do you like what he had to say? Here's Eli Drinkwitz yesterday talking about the game against Kansas.
During the week, you have to focus on execution of your assignments because you don't want to be emotional. You want to execute. And so, we got all that out the way. We understand. We know there's a trophy for it at the end of the game. Our goals every year is to win our trophy games. This is a week that we got a trophy on the line. You have a tangible thing that you're playing for. And in college football, you don't always have that after a game. Sometimes you just got to attaboy. There ain't no attaboy after this one. There's a dadgum war drum and several other stuff out there. And you win it, you get it. And if you don't, you don't. And I don't care who you are. If you're a competitor and there's something on the line, I don't care if you're playing against a buddy at home and one-on-one. If there's a Diet Coke on the line, you want to stink and win because it's painful if you don't. So our guys understand it. Like that ain't the issue. The issue is, are we going to be able to execute? Are we going to be so focused on the crowd and doing this that we forget it ain't about that? It's about hands inside. It's about executing your assignments. It's about having eyes on your keys. It's about communicating the formation adjustments. It's about offensively making sure that we're all on the same page on our identifying the fronts that they're going to be in.
I like that, Matt Derrick. What about you?
Yeah, I'm 90% in. I mean, I'd still like a little, Marty Schottenheimer, as far as just, hey, don't worry about fine folks this week, that kind of thing. But hey, I like his message. And when you were setting up the quote, I was like, "There's no cursing." I was even thinking to myself in my head, I think the worst thing that Eli ever says is "dad gum."
Right,
so,
he said it,
and then he dropped one of those in there.
Oh.
So that tells you all you need to know about what Eli thinks this week.
What do you think this week?
I'm fired up for this one. I'm not going to lie. I mean, this is one I feel a little more juice for than I have felt in a long time because it's about time that these two schools get together and play. They're both, good teams right now, so that's going to make it even more entertaining. And I was talking about this with someone yesterday. I like it on the campuses. I loved that the 2007 game with Arrowhead was fantastic. But bless our hearts here in Kansas City. You could have played that game on the moon, and the atmosphere would have been fantastic. I mean,
there's no atmosphere on the moon. I hate to differ with you, Matt. There's no atmosphere on the moon.
Figuratively, the atmosphere would have been fantastic on the moon. But I'm glad it's on campus. I just wish there's going to be more than 57,000 people in there, with the construction, because there's a few more thousand people would love to be able to get in there for this one.
I will be in there for that one, and so for this one, very excited to be down in Columbia. What's your score prediction, please?
I haven't even thought about that one, but I think the Tigers pull it out. The only thing that scares me is Jalen Daniels. He's going to use X factor. He can change a game if he puts Kansas on his back. They can win it, but. I have to go with the Tigers, but I can't. I mean, I can't. I could say something ridiculous, just like Tigers 60-0, but that's not going to happen.
Look, and look, Daniels is a fine quarterback. Feel free to fall in love with your quarterback. He's a stud. All right.
He's winning me over. Bo is absolutely winning me over. That was a really nice performance, and I've talked to some people who knew him at Penn State. And say, yeah, this is the guy you want to get behind.
You enjoy the Bo show, all right? Bo knows football. All right, let's get to the Chiefs in Brazil. Wide receivers, who's available and who's not?
Yeah, who's available? Well, you'll have Xavier Brown, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, Nico Remigio, Tyquan Thornton.
You will have Hollywood? We're sold on that?
I'm sold on that. I mean, he's been a full participant. He was a full participant in practice yesterday. I mean,
right.
And just the 2 other days that they didn't have to put reports out there. I mean, he's been full go. So
there's 2 more days where we could tweak something. I'm making sure that we're good.
I know crazy things can happen on airplanes.
Yeah, you can cramp up.
It wouldn't be that crazy though, Matt.
Wouldn't be that crazy,
right,
but
so
I feel confident that he'll go. And and you got Jason Brantley. I mean, obviously you won't have Jalen Royals. You're not going to have Rashee Rice, so the bench gets a little thin quick. But I think they're still going to have the weapons. I mean, if you want to stretch the field, you put Xavier Worthy on one side, Tyquan Thornton on the other. You're stretching the field. So I don't think that having the full offense at their capability is not going to be an issue. The one thing you're going to miss with, especially not having Rashee Rice, is just he's got special abilities. There's other guys who can fill his role. It's just that other guys can't catch the ball and then run like a running back and just rip through people for extra yardage. Juju can do the same routes. He can run the same things. He just doesn't have the extra ability without the ball that Rashee has.
Nate Bukaty.
What other concerns do we have about the Chiefs outside of the wide receiver depth position right now? Like, what are your biggest concerns coming into Week 1?
The defensive line and the interior has replaced left side of the offensive line on my list of concerns. Without having Mike Pennell, and honestly, I mean, there's reasonable argument to be made that the Chiefs made the right move. My question is that maybe they made the move too late. I mean, if you believe at 34 that Mike Pennell just didn't have it anymore and couldn't even give you those 20 snaps a game that you need, and that Derek Nottie is an upgrade, that's fine. Derek Nottie has no backup on this 53-man roster, and I haven't seen necessarily any evidence that they're going to this week elevate one of their practice squad one techs and nose tackles, whether it's Marlon Tuipulotu or Broderick Martin, who's been here about 3 seconds. And they absolutely probably need to, but it looks like, from at least what I've seen in practice this week, it looks like they're going to be going with all 9 defensive linemen that they've got, and not necessarily sitting anybody down, which would make room for bringing up a tackle. But I just don't know who your Derek Nottie backup is. And if you're talking about a bunch of pass rushers, Chris Jones and Derek Nottie going against the Chargers, and if the Chargers are willing to run the football with the talent that they've got in that backfield now, that could be a problem, because we didn't see much from the Chiefs' run defense in the preseason.
And what would possibly make us believe that they're not going to come out and try to run the football down the Chiefs' throats? I mean, number one, they lost their left tackle, Slater. Now, Alt, I know you love Alt, and so I'm not concerned about left tackle, but, who's the right tackle now, and how's he going to hold up? And so that could be a problem for them. And I just feel like what you said and what the Chargers, what their philosophy is under Harbaugh, and the fact that they have a two-headed rushing attack now that they feel like they can rely on, that tells us right there this is going to be a game where the Chargers are going to go out and force the Chiefs to stop the run. And the question is, can they do it? Because I think we're going to get a big dose of Hampton and Najee Harris, right? Why wouldn't you? And sometimes football coaches will outsmart themselves. I don't think this is the case. I think Harbaugh is going to look at this just like you did and say, okay, we're going to run the ball until they prove that they can stop it, if they can stop it, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely the mindset the Chargers should have. I mean, and yes, losing Rashawn Slater is big. They're going to have a weakness at right tackle. There's no doubt about that. But they've got a good interior. They've strengthened it up. Jim Harbaugh believes, just like Andy Reid and Brett Veach believe, that you build a team from the inside out. You've got to have a strong offensive line. And Jim Harbaugh he's I know he likes to throw the football a little bit, but he likes to run it too, and he's a good game planner. I mean, he knows what he needs to do. And if you're looking at this Chiefs team, I think you're absolutely looking at this saying, hey, this defense needs to be tested. You need to be able to run the football against these guys. And that's why, I mean, for the Chiefs, your best defense might be your offense, because you've got to find a way to get the Chargers out of that. I mean, not only just defensively, you need to do what Steve Spagnuolo wants to do, which is get them into third down situations where you take advantage of your pass rush and your pass defense. But if you're the Chiefs, you need to get up 2 scores on these guys as fast as you can and get them out of the run game.
That's right.
Force them to throw the football, because I think that even with Ladd McConkey and some of the talent that they've got, I think that's still the weaker part of the Chargers offense.
Okay, so you mentioned the guy that I want to ask you about, Ladd McConkey. Unless you're a Chargers fan or you have him on your fantasy squad, he's a gigantic pain in the ass to watch because he will drive you crazy. He just gets open. He's a stud. And so how will the Chiefs plan to cover Ladd McConkey?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting on Monday when Spag said that it's all 22. He's all 22 eyes on the defense out there on 15 and Ladd McConkey. And I mean, he may be focusing on Ladd McConkey publicly to an extent to do what coaches love to do. You know, they love to blow guys up just because then they think, wait a minute, we got something for this guy. One of my favorite moments with our dear friend Adam Teicher back in the day, my first year, I think it was on the beat back in 2016, back when we used to get conference calls with other coaches. And we had a conference call with Ben Roethlisberger, and he was asked about Marcus Peters, and he was like, "Oh, Peters, you got to know where he is at all times. You got to avoid him at all times. All these things." And darned if Ben Roethlisberger didn't throw a 50-yard bomb right at Marcus Peters on the first play of the game, and Steelers destroyed the Chiefs in that one. Sometimes coaches do that. I don't think necessarily Spags is doing that because Ladd McConkey is the real deal, but you've got to pay attention to him. You can't avoid everybody else in the field. We talked about the run game. You can't avoid the run game. You can't be so worried about Ladd McConkey that you're taking your eyes off the backfield, and the Chargers beat you that way.
How does the Chargers defense match up against what the Chiefs want to do offensively?
Oop, you cut out there the first part. Sorry.
How does the Chargers defense match up against what the Chiefs want to do offensively?
You know, I mean, obviously the Chargers have a good pass rush, and that's what's going to test the left side of that Chiefs offensive line. And what I'm going to be interested in seeing particularly is just how sophisticated the Chargers get. I mean, you don't need to. I don't think going one-on-one with the Chiefs offensive line and pass attack is necessarily the way to go, because one-on-one I think they can handle some of their matchups. I mean, there's going to be some questions about Kingsley. There might be a couple of questions that you want answered about Josh Simmons, but the one weakness that you're going to have on that offensive line on the left side is that Kingsley and Josh are so new to this, and they're still so new to each other, that they're going to have some problems with communication and pickups on combos. So twists and stunts, anything like this, anything that you can do to confuse those two guys, because they haven't seen anything in the NFL yet. And they're, for all intents and purposes, I consider Kingsley and Josh both rookies at their positions this year. And if you're doing that, I mean, I take advantage of that inexperience. So I think if you're the Chargers, that's what you want to do. It's not just about getting one-on-one matchups against either one of those guys. I think it's you want to put some combo attacks on those guys so that they've got to figure out, wait a minute, who am I accounting for? Because there's going to be mistakes, and the Chargers got to hope that, hey, they get one of those mistakes and maybe create a turnover.
All right, Matt, so we were having a debate yesterday about what we think is going to happen with Travis Kelce. Like, what type of year is he going to have this year? Because his numbers have, they've declined a little bit each of the last 2 years. But at the same time, if this is a rejuvenated Travis Kelce who might be going on his revenge tour plus farewell tour at the same time, could he like rekindle that type of season he had a couple years ago? What do you think? What is the right thing to expect from Travis Kelce this season?
Yeah, it's a great great question, because I don't know if anybody knows for sure. Nobody can know for sure.
I do.
But the rejuvenated Travis Kelce, I mean, let's be realistic in this regard. The one thing you can do at this time of your career is just to slow the element of time. I mean, last year we saw age catch up with Travis pretty quickly. And I think part of it, was that he played more than he needed to. And I think he will even admit that. I mean, as much as he will say that he wants to be out there as much as he possibly can, he put himself out there more last year than he had done in 2023. And he did it because Chiefs were banged up, and he felt like he needed to be out there for Mahomes at all the time that he could. And the reality is that that's not good for him, the team, or Mahomes. They need Travis Kelce to be Travis Kelce in February and January. They don't need him out there 80% of the snaps in September. And they've got depth. They've got more depth now at tight end than they have probably had at any point in Travis Kelce's career. I mean, take advantage of it. It's that depth is not there just so you can run a bunch of multiple tight end sets. That depth is there so you can get Travis off the field. And Travis, one, I think he did a really good job at training camp of admitting that and acknowledging that, because we saw him, taking a lot of plays off. And I'm not talking about not on the field. I'm just talking about taking himself off, not being out there for all 17 plays in a long drive drill, rotating in and out. He's got to continue to do that. I mean, even if, they've got two guys out this week, you can't get into the mindsets, wait, we got two guys out and Rasheed's out, so I got to be out there for every snap that I can for Patrick. He's got to lean on guys, because I feel like if Travis reduces his workload and he gets down to 70 or less % of the snaps this year, I think he can actually have a better season than he had last year, because he wasn't as productive as he usually is, because he had a lot more mistakes than he usually does. And that's what you do when you're beaten up and tired. So I feel like if he manages his time and the Chiefs kind of load manage him a little bit better, I think he can actually have a better season than he had last year. I'm not saying like 1,400 yards; those days are gone. But could he have more yards per catch, more touchdowns? Yeah, I think he could, because he's in good shape. He's taking care of himself. But you just don't need to. If you start to see Travis having some of those just drain plays where he's not getting to the ball because he's tired, get him out. Don't put him in that situation, because you don't want him to look like that in January, February. You want those best snaps of his to be then. And if that means, I joked about it, but I was serious. If Travis Kelce just came to you and you're Andy Reid, I might even be tempted, if I'm Andy Reid and Brett Veach at some point, to just say, hey, Travis, you know what, 2026, if you want to come in like October, great. We'll see you then.
You got 10 seconds. What's the score going to be?
I'm going to go with a one-score game, going with the Chiefs win, 31-27.
That's Matt Derrick from ChiefsDigest.com. Thank you so much, Matt, for the time. And Travis Kelce in shape, but more importantly, in love on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Speaking of being in love, I'm in love with Greengrass Cattle Company. We got the smoker going over the weekend, pulled out a tri-tip. That's one of my favorite cuts of beef by far. From Greengrass Cattle Company. Feeds the whole family. Doesn't take as long as a brisket, but it's just about as delicious and tender and wonderful. We smoked it over hickory and then reverse seared it on the grill after that. It was tremendous. Look, Greengrass Cattle Company is where you need to go if you want to stock up for your tailgating needs, if you want to have a cookout on Friday for a certain football game, or on Saturday. You get your beef from Greengrass Cattle Company, and everybody will be happy. It is the best beef I've ever had in my life. I've never had any bad beef from Greengrass Cattle Company. They take immaculate care of their cattle. You can see their ranch in Weston, Missouri. You can go by the store in Weston, Missouri. This is a great time to head up to Weston. You go to Apple Fest. You check out, the orchards and all the local restaurants and cool stores that they have there. And they have a lot of that local stuff on display in the Greengrass Cattle Company store as well. But you can also order online, and they'll ship it right to your door. They have all kinds of meat bundles available. And you can shop right there online. It's really easy. GreengrassCattleCo.com. That's GreengrassCattleCo.com.
Welcome back to the show. We've got Jesse Newell coming up. We're going to play an interesting quote from Sean McDermott for Jesse Newell and Nate and Jake to see what they have to say about this.
He's authored some interesting quotes over the years.
He sure has. He's a wordsmith.
Just not a fan.
Jesse Newell, Bill Moss, Coach Gary Barnett, Jeremy Fowler, Scott Sharp, Mike DePasquale. Take your guys' temperature against it's game week now. The football gods visit you in your dreams. And they say, Nate, I'll grant you one win this year. A guarantee. You could win in Columbia, or you can beat K-State. Choose your victory.
Oh, I got to beat K-State.
Yeah, that's right. That's the right answer, buddy.
I know
You got your head on straight.
Find that you're gonna use that as disrespect, right?
No. That's a conference game,
That's right.
and it's a streak.
And it's at home, and you haven't beat Kansas State in forever.
We haven't beat Missouri in forever.
Well, you haven't played them in 15 years.
Right. Missouri beat K-State though.
Yeah, but it was this is.
They did. I mean, I don't think. Yeah, they beat K-State.
I remember that was a close game, wasn't it?
But they won.
Right.
No,
I remember that. Yeah, no, it's a conference game, like you said. It's a home game. You haven't, it's a long streak. So, but obviously, I would like to have both.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
But is it close? You didn't really. It doesn't have to be.
It was
close.
a pretty quick answer. But I'm not going to sit here and deny how big this game feels. Coming up this
70-30.
weekend. Yeah, something like that. 70-30. Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah.
What's your split?
Oh,
Because you got your head on right. You'd go conference
I'll
game
be
and the streak
honest,
against
though,
K-State.
When we talked about this about a month ago,
Things change, buddy.
things do change. It's a lot closer for me today as we are mere hours away.
Right.
From
And if you were playing K-State first, it would be a lot closer. You'd be more towards beating K-State. So,
but I mean, I would say 60-40. It's closer. Before, I think it was like 80-20. I was like, no brainer.
Right.
I'll take the K-State win. Now it's like, you know what? Going down to Columbia and beating Missouri in their own house.
It would be amazing.
Yeah,
it would be amazing.
Right.
I bet I'm not,
what's more likely to happen?
That's a great question.
Well, I mean, you just get to play a Big 12 school when you play K-State. SEC is a different animal, as we all know.
I mean,
Just
how
means more.
many games in a row have you lost to K-State?
A million, I don't know.
I think it's a reasonable question.
Yeah, no,
Like, what's
I don't
more-
know, man. Well, they're a 6.5-point dog against Missouri. What are they going to be? I would assume, who knows how the season plays out, but maybe the spread's a little closer against K-State.
But there's a lot working against you in that streak. It seems like.
Yeah,
It just,
there is.
You know,
Like, look, so far the last couple of years, I think they've shown they can play with K-State, but they still have proven they can't beat them.
I think it's a fun question to ask. There is no wrong answer. It's just how you feel.
Look, back when they were all in the same conference, then you almost would always say Missouri. But they're not
Would you?
anymore. Yeah. At least if you live in Kansas City.
Right.
Because
Right.
you're going to face a lot more Missouri fans and all that stuff when you lose the next day or win.
You live closer to Manhattan than it's probably K-State then. If you're a
Yeah.
Kansas fan, right?
Yep.
All right, the Sunflower Showdown.
He got it.
Yeah, there's a guy that got it.
He figured the rivalry out real quick.
Did he?
We'll be right back after this with Jesse Newell on WHB.
Oh, what's up, Kansas City? Jake Gutierrez here, and it is on game week, week 1. It starts now, and every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports partner of the NFL. That's right. They are the official sports betting partner of the NFL. This isn't just football. It's first down fireworks, anytime TDs, live bets that ride every momentum shift. At DraftKings, every play is your next shot to win. And you look at some of the lines this weekend, big games coming up. You got Sunday Night Football. You got the Ravens going to Buffalo. Ravens getting 1.5 points. You got Chiefs on Friday night down in Brazil. Chiefs right now, 3-point favorite. Love it. Total on that game, 45.5. All lines and odds are subject to change, but the fun is upon us. Week 1 starts now, and new customers, DraftKings has a great deal for you. You bet just $5, and you're going to get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. It's a no-brainer. All you need to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. That's code 810WHB to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Plus, you're going to get over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. What are you waiting for? Get after it. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Kansas only. Eligibility restrictions apply on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issue and see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer. Make sure to check out the Sports Radio 810 WHB mobile app for all our great content. Live streams, social media, and all our podcast clips all in one place. Your one-stop shop for all things 810. Whether you're in the car, at home, or at your kid's soccer game, you'll never miss the action. So download the 810 app today. Brought to you by Trailside RV. Get into Trailside RV to buy the RV of your dreams. Visit them today off I-70 in Grain Valley or online at trailsiderv.com.
When you vowed to care for each other, you meant it.